Yeah. Well, apparently I'm getting the headaches because my shoulder is finally sitting where it's supposed to, so now my muscles are like, oh no, I have to do my job. Ah.
I know that feeling.
He knows that all too well.
How dare
Yeah,
our muscles work properly?
right? You want to see what I got today?
Ooh.
Ooh,
It's an Allosaurus claw.
nice.
I'm excited. I also got an Albertosaurus to go with my little plastic dinosaur collection, and it almost looks identical to the Daspletosaurus that I have. But I suppose with how closely related they are, that would make sense.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. So for the video that I had for today for Wordplay Wednesday, I was talking about what a metal is and what makes something a metal and the different types of metals. And I had two different people go, so is mercury a metal? Yes.
Yes.
It just happens to be liquid at Earth temperatures, Earth surface temperatures. So it's like, yes, I understand usually it's something hard and shiny. This one just happens to be liquid and shiny.
And horribly toxic.
Yeah. Well, there are lots of toxic metals. Funny enough.
Wait, you mean
The other funny
they
thing,
aren't a key ingredient in Elixirs of Immortality?
No, there's a reason that they haven't opened the Chinese Emperor's first tomb because it has rivers of liquid mercury in it. The guy with all the terracotta
uh-oh.
warriors, yeah, surrounded by liquid mercury in his tomb.
At least that's a
So they
start.
haven't actually opened the tomb at all.
I mean, lots of people thought it was good for immortality in days long past. We know way better now, but
Thank goodness.
I heard a kid the other day. They were talking about somebody who worked with X-rays, and because they were talking about radiation. They were like, "Why did he live so long? I thought radiation was dangerous." And my coworker just goes, "Well, by this point, we knew how to protect ourselves from radiation."
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't just always gonna be a, well, let's lick it and find out. Anyway, it was fun. All right, let's go ahead and recap.
All right. So last session, uh, the bard and bard adjacent practiced their instruments so well that the birds started joining in. After walking for several hours, Rada heard shouting. Um, Shouting in
Wait a
what?
minute.
Hmm?
Does that make Erden and I Disney princesses?
I thought you already knew this. Oh,
No,
Aaron
you're
just knew.
still the Disney princess.
You know that, but I'm
You're
like,
literally
but
able to talk to them.
true.
Hold on.
No, it makes me wonder. It's like, wait, does this make Erden an honorary Disney princess because the birds were also singing along to him because of the music?
No, no, no. Okay. First off, do either of you have magic hair?
No.
No.
Okay. How about magic hands?
Sort of heard it.
No.
Depends on how you slice it. It depends which hair you depends which hair you pull.
Technically,
Yeah, I would
no, I
say
have
technically
healing
both.
word.
Yeah. Do animals talk to you?
Yes.
Uh, were you ever poisoned?
Does
Not
alcohol
yet.
if so, both of us would answer yes.
Have you been cursed?
Erden
we did
thinks so.
Like, we've lost our memories quite a bit, so yeah.
Kidnapped and
Have you
enslaved.
been kidnapped or enslaved?
No. Thank you, Ralph breaks the internet. Princesses.
Do people assume all your problems got solved because a big strong man showed up?
Nope.
Have you seen my height? Of course they do.
I mean, Erden is a big, strong man.
Technically, Harold did save me from the Selkie.
So I see what I need to do to make sure all of these points get hit.
No. I'm already a Disney princess. We know that. I was asking if Erden had art adjacentness. Does he have Disney princess adjacentness?
Well, I counted 5 that Erden had in fact experienced. So
yeah, so it counts.
He's more of a Disney princess than Vanellope is.
Yes, he's more of a Disney princess than Vanellope. Bon sweet.
Okay.
My apologies for interrupting, Arthur. It was just a thought that came to mind, and I'm like, I'm gonna forget this if I don't bring it up now. My apologies for interrupting the recap.
It's just as important as figuring out what our how likely each character or each player character is about to die.
yeah, these are the important discussions that never really get brought up.
All right.
We sent Adea to go and check it out because she was bored. Then we sent Tooth over because we couldn't understand Adea's signals.
Oh yes, I remember what happened last time now.
I'm glad at least one person liked the meme that I posted relating to that.
Tooth manifested a snake.
Tooth scared the horse, which the angry nobleman sent the servant after. The rest of us had most of the party had a very brief and informative conversation with him before just walking off. Erden decided to rub this man's face in the mud and de-pants him. Actually, it was the second
Couldn't exactly dethrone him.
Actually, it was the second time this guy's been de-pants because Tooth did that earlier.
Because Tooth.
Indeed.
We discovered that the servant is abused, and we emancipated him, while also stealing pretty much all of the noble's things.
Except the carriage.
Except an empty trunk, from what I remember. Because
I'm pretty sure he scattered all of his silks across the floor, or the ground, instead of taking them, because silks are expensive, man.
Oh no, there were 2 different things. There was the silks and something else. Erden took the silks, but left the other stuff.
Oh, okay.
And we took the carriage because Adea wants to dismantle it for iron.
Yeah, because it's about 40. The frame itself is about 40% iron, so she no longer has to buy iron. She can just strip the carriage. She already stripped the filigree off of the gold inlaid trunk, which was just a beautiful thing to behold.
And a certain NPC would be angry with me if I did not mention this, but he was heroically called forth to overtake the carriage of a fellow warrior and pull the carriage.
He was heroically called forth to pull a carriage, and Erden fucked him into it. Hallelujah, go Erden.
Really just love the idea of there being one animal who is so full of themselves, and then the other animal is like the complete opposite and like the most compassionate animal you will ever meet.
Right, that's just Thunderclap and Everald.
And Thunderclap doesn't like Emerald. And of course, and Emerald helps direct us
Well,
towards the camp.
is helping us. She's like,
Yes,
Yes.
is
that
helping
way.
us. I can't do that though because when I do it, it looks like a Hitler salute. It's not supposed to be that.
Now, there's a specific way to do the Roman salute, which is what it's technically called.
But most everybody thinks of it as a Hitler salute, which is bad. Like the Nazis ruined that, just like they ruined the swastika.
I mean, Rome kind of deserves it anyways.
Make a point. You make a point.
And
Yeah,
this
the
week,
servant's name was the
Yeah.
servant's name was Yorath, and the horse,
yeah,
the
so
noble's horse is named Skybound.
yeah, so the servant is on Skybound with Brina. Erden is driving the carriage with Everald next to him, and Tooth in his backpack.
Brought any day or walking.
Well,
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Rob is
would a day
walking.
have to do?
If we want to make this fast, then Idea, get in the carriage.
Is the carriage really going to be faster than a day?
I mean, if you get the horse at full gallop, and I'm sure that Thunderclap is just dying to gallop.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that the rules don't stipulate that you have a slower movement speed when you're, or a horse doesn't have a lower speed when it's pulling something until it gets encumbered.
Even though Thunderclap would want to be galloping, Skybound already had a gallop dragging that carriage, so he's in no condition to go that fast.
It certainly can get in the carriage, but she does have a faster walking speed than your average person.
Yeah, what's that?
Okay, but consider this. It's
35
easier
feet.
to read if you're sitting.
Let's not introduce Idea to motion sickness.
Or analyze how to tear the carriage apart in the most efficient manner.
Just as long as you don't tear it apart while it's moving.
Do we need this wood? We should probably save it for the next ship.
I mean, there's a good chance that if Idea does get into the carriage, that our slowest speed is 50 feet per round, which is Rada's movement speed, by the way.
Nice.
Well, the noble certainly won't catch up to us that way, and then we have more time to figure out how to cover our tracks.
Okay. Before we get much further, though, I'm gonna go ahead and initiate a time skip so that we're not on the road forever. So, for the purposes of the time skip, you are able to get the servant to a Kimry town, a fairly decent-sized Kimry town that is, in fact, Rome-free. This town very much pushed them all out, and they are glad to take this person in. He's able to meet up with somebody who can give him a job for his skills. It is up to you whether you want to hold on to his horse or let him keep the horse, to his master's horse, I should say. It wasn't his horse.
He can keep it.
Okay.
I think
So
Rita would probably ask Skybound where he wanted to go.
Well, you know what? Okay. High or low?
High.
He'll stay with the servant.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I think it's like Rita would encourage him to stay with the servant if he wanted to, or come with us if he wanted to. It's like, regardless, you're good.
All we got to do is make sure that the Kimry, if that noble shows up, make sure to show him the way out.
Because it's already a
yeah.
Rome-free town, I guarantee they're probably going to do that already.
There were definitely some guards at this town, and they had those really impressive Welsh longbows. That guy's not getting into. He might not even make it within, 100 feet of 10 at this point. After all, those longbows were meant to penetrate chainmail, and this guy definitely didn't have any armor.
Not to mention, I can't imagine us just leaving Yorath and Skybound there without explaining to the people that were passing him off to. It's like, please keep him safe. He has not been treated well at all.
Yeah, I think one of the most important things for our party is that whoever we leave the servant with, we know will actually treat him well.
Yeah.
Reasons that you will all feel comfortable leaving him here other than their hospitality. Burden, when you guys first come into the town, you will instantly see that red dragon on a green background flag flying above the town. These are Pendragon supporters. They are very, very anti-Rome and very much let the Pendragon win.
Mm. Yeah, and
So-
I think at the end of last session, we gave him like a nest egg of like 12 gold or something.
16.
Yeah.
So
It was
16.
He's definitely got some funds to get
Yeah,
him.
because he's just like, I've never had this much money in my life.
Be
I don't know how it
responsible.
translates in this world, but in standard D&D, I'm pretty sure gold is a year's wages. So
Yep.
if
Yep.
it's anywhere close to the same in this world, that's a lot of money.
But at the same time, like we found somebody that'll give him a job and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. He'll be okay.
yeah, he will be good.
To can we translate that?
We still haven't found the army, so we've got a long road ahead of us. We found another town before we found the army.
So
But everyone's dying.
the annual income for the average citizen was roughly 2 pence or 2 euros a year. Which really is not that much, if I'm reading that correctly. Yeah.
Adjust for inflation.
You're right. So this is definitely like way more than he ever would have made in his lifetime.
Give him several lifetimes worth.
Yeah. He's gonna be living well in this town.
It's like, be responsible. Don't spend it all at once.
None of us are
Good
merchants.
luck.
We can't tell you to invest. Stock markets aren't the thing yet.
Nope.
Somehow he's gonna have like a son who's gonna end up like one of the Knights of the Round Table at this point.
I love it. Love it. I love it. I love it.
Directly responsible for one of the Knights of the Round Table.
No, like, can you imagine the stories that Yorath would tell his son of us as adventurers? Like, that would be like, and that son bring them to the round table, and Arthur kind of like, wait a minute, you know about these people? These people.
Your dad
These
knew
people
the
are
right?
my dad.
Say that again, Jen.
Oh, I know about these people. One of them was friends with my dad.
I think one of them took care of me as a baby.
Right? Okay. Anyway, so you get them all dropped off. You're going to take the carriage with you. because you don't want to stop and take all that time to break it down there. You have places to go. I imagine there may have been an ensuing argument where Idea's like, but I've got the tools here. And it's like, we've got to go, Idea. You're going to have the tools there.
You're gonna have the
I
tools
think
there.
I think they already established he was going to take it apart on the road when we figured out there's too much here. We'll just take it with us. So we haven't reached the final destination yet. As long as they're not going to follow us, we can keep taking it with us.
Look, you can even pull out a few nails on the road, just make sure it doesn't fall apart.
We could sell the canvas while we're here.
On the road, at one point, Rada, you will have a brief conversation with Rhiannon, who does express her interest, but she has a strong feeling she already knows who you're going to pick, so she's not feeling hopeful. But she's look at how well Erden's doing under my care.
I don't know. I imagine she would approve what just happened.
I mean,
maybe not Erden's specifically, but everyone else is.
Yeah.
Hey, the thing is as long as Erden doesn't kill anyone, it's cool. And he deserved it. Because as a goddess of life, she doesn't approve of beating people for no reason. That's something that, her sisters do because they're awful. And as far as I know, Erden hasn't killed anyone. And if he has, they deserved it. It wasn't like they were...
It's with, in defense kind of a thing.
Yeah.
If he's killed anybody, it's been in defense.
Technically speaking, he killed Taliesin, but
Rhiannon would understand that.
Talien's literally,
that was
literally asked for it.
A mercy killing.
Yeah, mercy killing, I think, is a little different.
She also does not approve of pain, and she's like, there's no way, unless I divinely intervened, and she wasn't going to do that.
Yeah, also literally asked for it.
Yep. But yeah, outside of that, it's not like he's just going, I don't like you, stab.
Yeah, now that's mean.
No, yeah.
It's mean. But anyway,
being mean is not nice.
It rains some more because it's Britain. But eventually, Everald does get you to the camp.
When it starts raining some more, Brina will probably move into the carriage just because it's like, okay, I just don't want to be in the rain. I don't want to be in the rain. Because it's cold. Why is the rain cold in this country?
Have we been traveling multiple days then?
Yes. This is probably going to be...
I'm recovering my spell slots.
Plus, you're traveling slower than you normally because you've got to carry raining. The freaking mud keeps slowing you down.
Wait, how many days?
So, I'm assuming that we've been able to rest a little bit.
Just 2 weeks.
That's a
2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like I said, time skipping. But you do eventually make it
the
there.
Work we can do in 2 weeks in the back of the carriage. Actually, it's probably bumpy. It's not any good for doing non-magical work.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here I can't even do much writing down stories because of the bumpiness of the road.
If someone would roll me a percentage dice.
You have yours.
84.
Marco was gonna beat me to it, but I had mine.
84.
I like that.
It's raining pretty heavily and pretty steadily when you arrive. In fact, I will say because of how overcast it is, Erden, you almost miss the fact that you're there because you can barely see. It's so dark.
Yeah, at this point, there's probably like a groove in the carriage somewhere where you just stuck the bright heart to attempt to like get some light in the area. It's like, nope, this isn't working.
Not working. But yes, you do eventually make it. This camp looks more permanent than the last one you saw.
Is Tiberia still here?
High or low?
This is not an important question, but it is one that I just randomly wondered.
Well, give me a high or low. We'll find out.
Hi.
Okay. You don't really get much of a greeting as you're coming in. Most people are hiding inside their tents because it's very wet. But you do see the large tents that you saw before. And a little bit more like I said, there's a lot of permanent, semi-permanent structures around. But you're able to find Uther's tent.
I suppose the rain means that we're not likely to see anybody that we can easily confirm is, alive and well.
No. But somebody does come out when you stop, and it's Gorlois. Thank the gods, I didn't know if you were getting my messages. It, occurred to me after I sent the messages that you can't respond back.
Well, on a good day, we could. It was not a good day.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out how to do that.
Why do you have a carriage?
We liberated it from a noble man. The fairy son was loyal to
his servant,
old Rome.
and so we saved the servant and his horse.
I'm gonna turn it into armaments.
And Idea can use the iron from the carriage, so hence carriage came with us.
If that's what you're going to use it for, you see that big pavilion over there that we've erected? That's the armory and the smithy and everything over there. So you're welcome to go park it over there.
Ern will actually tap Thundercloud, just like, all right, good, bring it over there. Thank you very much.
Do I get to go over there now, or do we have to do official stuff first?
Probably
you have to say hi first.
Okay.
You have to be social first.
If nothing else, to understand what's needed.
Actually, it's totally fine. The only one I really need right now is Erden. The rest of you are welcome to go get set up as you need and all of that. We'll fill you in on everything once you're settled.
Yeah, worry, guys, I got this. You can.
Don't say no.
It's just like, okay. Follows the horse.
You have to tell me twice.
I was gonna say, I'm probably still in the carriage, so I'm probably have my head poked out. It's like, well, I guess I'm going with you.
Bye.
I don't want to be in the carriage when we're done with it.
But it's prior, so.
Is this a one that is? Is this a private conversation?
Yes, for now.
Then I'll leave you to it.
Let me know if anybody needs my special hot chocolate to perk them up, okay?
Oh. He pokes his head out of your bag, and he goes, "Does that mean I have to get out?"
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Okay, fine. He like pulls his big old cloak out and just like pops out, and then he's like, should have caught the carriage.
I'm surprised you stayed in there, given how long we were on the road.
It's warm in there.
And I imagine it was also more wet, considering that Erden was out driving.
He didn't respond. Just splashing through the mud in the mug.
I'll try
So-
and catch up with you later.
Okay, I'm gonna start with the rest of you. So, Rada, what are you gonna be doing?
That is a good question, because I think Rhiannon may have been the last god that was trying to contact me, and with all of them having been accounted for, I think
Mm-hmm.
my mind hasn't changed about the one I was most likely to accept up front, which I believe was Lou.
Deo approves. Totally not biased. Served every last minute.
He has not lied.
Yes, you do.
Okay. So are you gonna find like a secluded space to reach out to him and
I mean,
Ask him if he likes jazz.
Brado probably would have done it on the way here, given that we had 2 weeks.
I can? Okay.
So, I think she'll just be maybe having a conversation, just like figuring out what is that she needs to do as a cleric of him. But otherwise, like, she's just going to be waiting for the party to meet up again.
Okay. I want you to go ahead and give me a perception. And I'm gonna say right now at disadvantage just because of how heavily it's raining.
Damn it. Could have been a natural 20. But no, I have to deal with a 15.
Oh no.
Absolute horror.
As you're walking away from Erden and Gorlois, and heading into camp, you can tell that there are different sections of this camp set up for different. They've got different types of tents and different groupings. And there's this one particular area that stands out, and you're pretty sure that is the Druid camp. It's much more colorful than the other ones. In a way, like, it's not like, bright colors. It's like lots of different types of greens and blues and golds and things like that you would expect from natural. And their tents have a lot of these natural patterns that have been put into them, so they look kind of like trees and bushes and watery waves and things like that. And you're like, that strikes me as Druid. And you can see that they have a sort of permanent looking compound around there. Looks like they've got some standing stones. Just a little one kind of set up in a sort of temporary spot. But that the pavilion they have set up looks kind of like it might be a worship space. Just from the numbers that you've probably seen for your travels. And you know that the Druids are a lot more aware of other religious practices than other religious groups. And that standing stones are definitely their religious sacred spot. They know that not everyone follows the Druidic traditions and probably want someplace dry. and indoors to worship. But they are also recognized in this country as like the religious keepers, no matter what you believe. So
Alright.
I stop twitching. So
I mean, Ra will go over there and just, kind of like awkwardly just, I suppose, not necessarily hang out would be the correct word, but like, again, I try to figure out what is she's supposed to be doing as Lou's cleric, but
yeah,
I don't necessarily feel like that is something we necessarily have to go into since never really did that with Artemis.
yeah, yeah. I have stuff that I can send you later, just so you have that.
All
But
right.
at least we know that that's what you're doing right now. Okay. Tooth is just gonna go race some cane because that's what he does. Idea and Brina, you make it to the armory easily enough. The carriage makes a lot of sloshing noises, so of course you catch the attention of the people who are in the armory. And Cad pokes his head out. He's like, "What?" Doesn't see that it's you guys immediately because you're inside the carriage. But he's looking at it like, looking around like, because there's nobody driving the carriage, it's just the horse.
You're thunderclap.
Where's what?
I'll probably poke my head out and say, "Thanks, Thunderclap. I'll see about getting somebody to unhitch you."
As soon as the carriage stops, Adea is like immediately out, ready to get going. She probably almost runs into Cadmus because she's like,
He like, almost runs in. You like almost run into him, and he grabs you. And he's just like, "It's Dana," and he like gives you a big hug, like, "Oh my gosh, you're okay." And you have a Roman carriage.
"We're gonna take it apart for iron, and then we can make it into stuff."
Oh, we're gonna take it apart. Oh, oh, we should probably take the
Get
horse
out
off.
first. Let me get out first. Can we please unhitch Thunderclap?
Right? Yes, yes, you should. Because the horse really shouldn't come into the armory, but we could definitely bring the carriage into the armory.
Wait, can Cadmus actually understand me?
Adea can train.
I don't remember if I had.
I don't remember. I don't think he can. Because I got Oceanic and I got Fae. That's it.
Yeah, but he's also a good. And
have to comprehend languages.
Yeah. Languages on him once for him to
I'm
understand
very
me.
confused.
yeah, I think he was one of the ones who didn't speak Fae.
Yeah, he doesn't.
No. Yeah, no, because I think
I had to cast comprehend languages on him.
Right.
Before.
tongues. You had to cast tongues on him before because you went over
Like,
to figure out the letter situation.
He's just like, and he stops and he goes, "Hang on, I got this. Hello, Brina," and he says it very slow in Fae. Did I say it right?
Light up. I'm like, like she's just like there's a bit of shock, but then like once the shock wears away, she's just like full on princess squeal because she's like, "Understand me," or at least a little bit.
Okay. You be
Somebody
good.
said you can do.
What?
You be good.
Of course, I was good.
I don't think I'm saying it right. Trying to ask her how she's been.
He's like, I think probably seeing the confusion on his face is like, is he asking me if I am good? Oh yes, no, I'm good.
Adea's about to translate when she figures it out.
Work on Faye very hard.
You have no idea how happy that makes me. But I also know that you and Idea want to work on this, so I can kind of talk to you now. Thank goodness.
Yeah, so whenever he's speaking in Fae, it's gonna sound like a child is because he's still trying to learn, like, it's kind of like, you know how when you learn Romance languages and like kind of invert the sentences from the way we speak? It's kind of like that. He's having to invert his sentences, and then there's like some words that just don't translate, so he's like,
He's quite literally learning a second language.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
And not an easy one.
No, but yeah, I'm just happy that he's learning. Like, I don't care if it sounds stilted. The fact that he's making an effort to learn Fae and there's somebody else I can talk to, I'm thrilled. Like, I will gladly go slow. I will try and go slow. That is a far more accurate depiction of what Brina will be capable of doing. I will try to go slow, but I will also but I'm just excited that he's trying to learn and talk to me in Fae. I'm like, yeah, but Brina's just gonna be grinning sadly.
All right. So once you get the horse unhooked, he goes, stables that way.
I'll talk with. I'll just let Thunderclap know. It's like your orders are going to be that way. Thunderclap, would you like me to come with you? I can if you'd like. Or if not, that's fine too.
He's just like, I think I can walk to the stables on my own.
That wasn't the question, but okay. I never question you being able to walk to the stables on your own. I was asking if you would like me to accompany you. I'm sorry that your eye is twitching so badly.
It has been doing this for far too long, and it's very distracting. It's my eyelid. It just... whatever. Anyway, so Cad will help you drag the carriage into the armory. It appears that he was the only one in there at this time.
Well, Adea's thrilled to see Cadmus. We've gotten up to so many shenanigans, and she wants his help with a very special project at some point.
Oh, what kind of special project?
So I'm trying to make a sword, but not any kind of sword. I've been doing some research. I want to be able to do magic with it, but I want to be strong as well. And so I'm getting an idea that we might be able to do this with some iron, if we keep the content right and we're really good with the forging. I bought this molybdenum while we were in Keteru.
Shockingly, his eyes go wide. He goes, "You found molybdenum?"
I did. I couldn't find anybody who wanted to sell me iron, but I've got molybdenum. I've got a lot of it.
Excellent. I've been wanting to test molybdenum. Oh,
I'm like looking back and forth between the two of them. I'm like, I am no longer needed here.
I got nothing.
I could have swore I put it in my inventory.
It should be in there. Be done with the
I
box.
still have the manganese as well, but
I know you got molybdenum.
how much molybdenum did I?
But
Why
yeah,
is it
like
not
I'm just gonna kind of like, okay, Day is safe here. I guess I'll go try and figure out.
Actually, it was kind of expensive. I think I bought just enough for the project. Now that I think about it,
Yeah, I think you just bought enough for the project because it was so expensive.
I have a lot of manganese.
and then you were
Because
effectively broke.
Yeah, because you had to make a withdrawal just to be able to purchase the molybdenum.
Yes, I got the molybdenum. I got just enough of it for the project. We got a lot of manganese. Yes, we'll
Ooh.
have to work on this together because I'm sure that with your help, we're much more likely to succeed.
Yes, the two nerds on a group project.
Yeah.
You're our
Woo!
favorite
basically in a feedback cycle of this is gonna only get better.
favorite nerds. Yeah, but I'm just like watching Idea and like understanding what she's telling Cadmus, and maybe not always understanding what he's saying, but being able to appreciate his enthusiasm. So it's like, yeah, then. So I'm just gonna
Yeah.
like
So
pat Dana's like wrist or whatever part of her arm I can reach. Like I'm gonna go try and be of use somewhere because I'm not really much use here. So I will see you later. Don't forget to eat.
to tell her this, but the druid camp, she can go to the druid camp. There's the green tents with the standing stones by them.
I recommend you go to the druid camp. Look for the standing stones, green tents.
I can do that. And like she'll just wave happily to Cadmus. Thank you.
So you'll make your way over there. It's not close to the armory, of course, because why would the druids be by the armory? Most of them
Unless
don't.
you're Cadmus.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you do get over there, and the druids don't. I should
I
say
feel like Bruno's been sinking in mud the whole time trying to get over there.
with the druids, they don't really have a ton of different tents. It's like they've combined all of their tents into one really big tent to share space. So if you just go in the doorway, they're all gonna be in there. They're in there like in lots of different groups. You'll hear a squeal, and Leoflin stands up, and she's like, "Brina, you're alive!"
Wait, but can I understand Leopold?
Leoflin does speak Fae.
Okay.
Leoflin made it her goal in life to learn languages because she is not, she's not Celtic, if you
Yeah,
recall.
I know she's Saxon.
Yeah. So she's like, I need to be able to understand other people, and you guys have so many languages. I'm just gonna learn as many as I can. And Fae is like a sister language to Druidic. So she's like, why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, she's one of the few you can talk to.
Leopold, hi. Didn't dare talking metals, so I thought I'd come and try and be of use elsewhere.
Did Cad get to talk to you?
I'm so excited! Oh my gosh, I can't understand it.
I've been teaching him how to speak Fae. He's struggling a little bit because it's almost like drunken druidic. So he's having a hard time getting his tongue around some of the words.
You think he would speak it better if he was drunk? I don't really want to test that theory, but
is that Cad is a very sad drunk, and I don't want anyone to have to go through that.
Oh no. We don't want. I don't want Cadmus to be sad, regardless of why. I just don't want him to be sad. And he was really happy to see Idea. So and the Roman carriage that we decided to bring with us so that they could scrap it for metal. So, but yes, we are alive, and we're here.
You run off. You're soaked.
Yes, I am. Why is your rain so cold?
I don't know. It's actually, I mean, for me, it feels kind of warm, actually. But where I come from, very cold.
It gets colder. The rain can be colder.
Sometimes the rain can get so cold that it's frozen.
What?
Yeah. Let me tell you about snow.
I was thinking, my thing is like, what Rita was like we have understood snow.
Brina learns about snow.
Wouldn't that for being on the mainland?
I mean, it was a
There
snow
might
beast
have
that did the thing to your brother, correct?
It wasn't a snow beast. It was a I can't remember what that was. But it wasn't like
I do think it was in the colder northern parts, though.
but it wasn't the mainland and it was in colder part. So when
Yeah.
what,
Like colder
Reno-
part, I'm talking like United States, not Canada. So there could have been snow at some point, but I don't think you were ever there in the winter.
okay.
How has she seen Narwhal?
It was
Well,
like
Because my thing is, I'm trying to think. Have I seen snow on any of these adventures?
I don't think so. We haven't had winter yet. We
On
had
ours,
fall. Then we skipped to spring because you guys were in the other world.
Well,
So
I was
no,
just thinking we flew with Frere. He was in a sleigh, but I guess in my head that automatically brings up snow.
well, we
So
also did it for Christmas, so like I could see why. But yeah, no, it was because he just picked you up from Greece where it doesn't really snow.
Picked us up from Aotearoa to Greece.
To Greece, so it doesn't
Yeah.
really snow in either of those places. So
in my home base. So okay.
yeah,
Leopold explains snow.
she may even demonstrate for you.
What did it, why is it white?
Because that's what happens when water freezes. I have no explanation for it. And if you look really, really close, the individual snowflakes look really cool. She'll make some really big ones so you can kind of see the like actual crystal pattern in the snowflakes.
Okay, yes, those are very pretty. Does it have to be cold though?
Yes. Otherwise it melts.
Gotcha.
All right. So you're having fun learning about snow. You're tearing a carriage apart with Cad while discussing your many adventures. And Rada is having.
I'd probably be talking with Leopold and seeing like, how are you? How's the people that we know of? Like, kind of just getting caught up on what's been going on.
With the note we got last time, we've got a lot of people to confirm alive or dead.
Yeah.
No. I will catch you up, but I'm going to go to Erden first.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
and that I'm okay with that. I just wanted to let you know that that's one thing that Brina would be wanting to do. But no, by all means, go to Erden.
Yes. All right. Warnings, mostly for Mary, because I know how you get. This is not going to be a happy encounter.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes. Okay, so Erden, well, you guys watch Rada walk off before Gorlois finally turns to you and he goes, I wish you could have been here sooner. He goes, meh. Uther really needs you right now. Anyone right now, really. There was a battle. We were all split in different places. And Aurelius was injured badly. He died about a week ago. And Uther has not been taking it well. And I think he just needs us here right now. I think he was also concerned that he wasn't going to see you again because we've had a lot of people just disappear and so heads up, he's in a mood.
all right.
So he'll lead you into the tent, and it's very dark in this tent. There are candles lit, but not very many of them. And there is a small fire in the center, and Uther is next to that fire, wearing dark clothes. He's got a blanket wrapped around him, and he's just kind of like staring into the fire. Right now, his back is to you. He doesn't move or acknowledge that anyone's even come in. His hair is just kind of all upended. He's not wearing a circlet or anything. As you get closer, he's not wearing any shoes, just socks. But he's definitely wearing what looks like night clothes. Definitely not anything he would have worn outside of the tent. And by the smell of everything in here, he probably hasn't left this tent in a while.
Mm. Okay. Ern will probably take his time approaching. Possibly slightly because he's wet and he's gonna take off a few things, boots, all of his armor, stuff like that, and kind of just set aside and try and dry it off a little. And is he sitting in like a chair or a bench or
Just on the floor.
just on the floor? All right.
Or Lois will follow suit with what you're doing on the other side of him.
Yeah. And we'll just slowly walk just come right next to him and sit down and kind of just hold his hands out to the fire a little bit. Kind of see what his reaction is.
He doesn't respond at all. And like out of the corner of your eye, you can see he's just like dead staring in the fire, like, and his skin looks kind of pale, little waxy, like he hasn't been taking care of himself at all. He's definitely got stubble growing on his face. And he's not wearing any of the typical like royal insignias that you're used to having seen on him at any point. There's no jewelry or anything on him. He's just wearing these night clothes and the blanket. He's got these huge bags under his eyes. His eyes are bloodshot. You can see dried tear tracks on his face. But he's not responding to anything.
After a moment, Ern will just turn to him and just say, "Hey, Em."
Where were you?
The other world.
Of course. Not always where you are when you disappear.
Becoming a bit of a habit.
He just shakes his head. Maybe you should have stayed. You could see Gorlois fidget uncomfortably and kind of like glance at you like, like, should I say something? He's very uncomfortable.
I can see why you'd want that.
Never here when I need you. So I don't know why you bother to come at all. You can see Gorlois just like he desperately wants to say something, but also he's like, this is my king. I can't.
I keep coming back because I care about you. The fact that I'm sent away is also because I care about you.
You worship the goddess of life. Can you bring him back? You can see Gorlois just freeze. Like,
And how would that be helpful?
what do you mean, how would that be helpful? He was the leader of the rebellion. He was the one everyone was following. Without him, there's nothing.
Not necessarily. I believe the phrase, one walks so the next one can run, I believe fits this particular situation.
I don't feel like I'm running. I feel like I'm in a pit.
You're trapped stuck in a cave, trapped in the darkness, trying to claw your way out, hunt your way out, cry out desperately. And you know that there's an exit somewhere. You can hear it. There are people out on the beach nearby, but they just can't seem to hear you from across the waves crashing nearby. So desperate to get out, but you keep circling. You swear you keep circling.
He finally just like drops his knees down, like folds his legs up under him, folds his arms, and then turns to look at you. What the hell did you just say? Hey, Gorla, well, I think he just said, was I asking you? Right now, what I feel is that I am not allowed to have a family. Everyone has died except the one person who would rather see me dead. And really, this was all I had left. And Emrys was useless. Couldn't heal him worth a crap. And then he just left. I don't know where he is. He's just gone. He's useless. Kept telling me something about the frickin' circle of life, whatever the hell that means. And he's supposed to be my advisor. Yeah. Well, he's trapping me. And then I thought, hey, I know somebody who's got a link to somebody who likes to keep people alive, or so I thought. And now it sounds like you're telling me that that's not the case. What good is magic if magic can't actually help me when I need it? Gorlos has got the long suffering look again, like he's probably had this conversation with him already.
Because you're relying on something that is more fickle than a sword in your hand.
Today's been a prime example the last few months.
You know, starting to see why Rome switched to that Christ fellow. At least he gives hope, something I haven't seen with these other deities. You know what they say? They say that this man died and then came back. But not only that, he rose other people from the dead. And that he's supposed to do it again. I don't know when. Be nice if it were soon.
He'll probably be very busy when Ragnarok comes. Who knows when that's going to happen.
Bless you.
What would you like me to tell you? That the gods themselves are actively working against you? That you're actually destined to constantly suffer and suffer some more, and then and be part of a family that either suffers in their death or causes suffering to others? Would you like me to tell you that sitting next to this rather small fire is going to make everything better?
Respecting nothing. One of the fun things about me is that I can make myself cry on demand. Makes things real realistic. um, he doesn't answer right away.
Or would it make you feel better that if I just gave you a cute little story of how Aurelius was just using you? That he gave you the title of Pendragon to pawn some of the attention off of him so that he could control the destiny of the world. That he was just as bad as your family. Would you like me to tell you that story?
He stands up pretty quick, kind of shoves you over. Like, I'm assuming you were going for triggering some sort of emotion out of it.
Yep.
And he drops the blanket. He's just kind of like stalked off, not very far. And he just goes, I don't want any of that. I just want somebody to tell me it wasn't my fault. That I didn't send him to his death. It was my idea, my plan. And now he's gone. What kind of a leader am I if I killed my own family? just to stop my brother's army. What? What good am I?
You're a leader coming into their own. Everyone actually stands up and tries to actually get a little closer to him, full center, stare him down. People make mistakes. You are certainly one of them. Did I help us on them? Absolutely. Doesn't matter if that choice killed him or not. He went along with it. He had every choice to stop it. So if he didn't, that means he agreed with you. And he was willing to suffer the consequences of that. Great leaders don't always win. They lose. The only reason they're remembered as great is because they're the ones who eventually won and then got to remove the story of how many times they lost.
Gorlos is ball in suit, and he's just kind of nodding behind you. Just yes, I have told you this.
Feeling that Grillos is doing that and Uther's just gonna glare at him.
Lois is not helping.
I don't think. Alright, this is the peanut gallery over here.
Oh no, we love director's commentary over the action.
Grillos, not helping.
Well, it's one of those things because Gorlois was one of those people who sort of grew up with him, they were teenagers together. So he said all of this same stuff that Ernan is saying right now, maybe slightly different. And so he's just like, see? I'm not alone in this. Please, listen to your friends.
I have to admit, sorry, peanut gallery moment.
Uh-huh.
I have to admit, as you were describing what Uther's physicality is, the first thing I think of is Brina. I'm just like, he needs Brina's hot chocolate so badly.
Yeah, right. And actually, I'm gonna pause for a moment. My water bottle's empty and my mouth is dry because I've done a lot of talking, so I need water. Right back.
Now, this is good. I'm enjoying this.
I am too.
I should also probably refill my drink.
Oh, Marco was saying that he's like, I'm enjoying this, which I am as well. We have our water bottles at hand. We're good.
Erden's inspiring a leader. Great.
I'm writing down these quotes that you're saying, Marco, because they're great. Seriously.
Really? Oh. I'm making this up as I go along. This is all improv right off the top of my head. I was not expecting any of this.
Hey, sometimes the best help that can be done is impromptu.
I kind of feel like this party specifically, we do well on those impromptu things. Because the whole Brina solving the boat thing, that was also impromptu. So.
It's the impromptu.
We've all refreshed on our heart. Well, I don't know if Marco has, but
Hydrate or dihydrate.
It's probably the fact that it's impromptu probably has probably a contributing factor to why these moments are so good.
Yeah,
They're real.
Because they're real.
What's impromptu?
All of what Erden's been saying.
Oh yeah. We're having therapy with Adam. We're gonna give you a theme song now.
The third installment.
You should just become a therapist at this point.
At a class.
That's
And
what
I should probably
happens
start
in the
charging for it too.
by the 21st century. Arden really is just a fish.
Say that again?
By the 21st century, Arden really is just a therapist. I've seen it all. You can't surprise me. All right.
Lois has risen and is nodding along with what Aaron's saying, not being helpful in the background.
Lois is about to get kicked out of the 10.
No.
Or so.
He just kind of stares at you for a moment. And then it's like a dam brace, and he is just like grabbing onto both of you and just sobbing. Like, you get the impression that maybe he hasn't released all of the grief he was holding in at this point because he felt he had to be strong. And Gorlos kind of glances over at you as she's sobbing, and he's just like, thank you. Just like awkwardly trying to pat him, but his arms kind of like pin funny. Meanwhile, both Brina and Idea, you will be. Oh yes.
Just one more thing. I was just wondering if it's possible to spend a little bit of lay on hands to try and give him like a warm, healing feeling while we're hugging.
Ooh, you know what? I want you to go ahead. Give me a religion check.
Okay. Okay. It's not a natural 20. But it's a dirty 20.
You can feel. You personally have not felt a loss like this. You've never felt like you've really been responsible for somebody else dying that you cared about. But for some reason, you're feeling this warm rush of empathy. And you're like, oh, so this is what this feels like. Oh, so it's like, but you can feel that power going through you and into him. And you can feel that he's relaxing a little bit, but also like the emotions needed to be released. And so it's like aiding and getting that all out so that he's not so. But now you're really starting to feel it too, so you're starting to get emotional because you're like, whoa. Okay.
I'm starting to like cry along with him.
Okay, Gus.
Gorlos is just standing there awkwardly like, oh, uh-oh.
And now they're both crying.
Like, he's a dad, so he's just like, okay, they're there. It's okay. I
just realized that Emerald would have been on the carriage seat. I'm assuming that she probably just hopped down and followed Brina.
Yeah, she's with you. Okay. Leof would definitely be like, your boar is so cute. But both Idea and Brina, Cad and Leoflid will inform you of what happened to Aurelius. Probably both in different ways. Cad, like, you're done telling about your adventures, Idea, and then Cad is just like, you're like, so what's been going on here? And he suddenly gets really quiet, which has been unusual to this point. Because you guys have been so excited and tearing things, and he actually sets his tools down. And he's like, actually, things really haven't been great here. Aurelius actually just died, and Uther has not been handling it well. And frankly, we've all been at kind of a loss because we don't know what to do now because he hasn't been leading us because of this. And honestly, it was a devastating blow. Like, it wasn't just him, like, a lot of his army got decimated, missing, like, a lot of people. It was just bad all the way around. And I think the king might blame himself for that.
Hmm. Oh. That's not good. That's not good for morale. It's not good for
No, it's not.
really what needs to happen to keep an army moving forward. Good
But
steel doesn't do any good to somebody who isn't ready to wield it.
yeah. But you're here now, and you're like the most popular I know. You can like jumpstart morale around camp. I mean, you brought us all this armor, all this iron, and we can do things with it, and we can be like prepared. I don't know. You're perky.
I'd be so excited to spread my personality. I mean, some might not take well to it if they're not feeling well, but I've been doing lots of practicing. I'm definitely ready to make weapons and use them.
Excellent. Good, because we really could use the boost. And while I am one of the most positive people here, I can't do it alone. And I am starting to realize that.
But we can do it together. It's always more fun that way.
Cheer squad.
I love that our two little geeks who are just geeking out over metal and things like that. They're also like the eternal optimists of this, which I love.
Yeah, I like the fact that Idea said she's working on it, but what she was being was her craft and not like working on empathizing with people.
She's been working on being more useful in army ways, maybe not on the whole. She's still learning how to be good with people. She's getting better, but she's still learning a lot.
Idea, you can only get so far with practicing on us.
It's true.
I don't know. I mentioned those 2 weeks. If a day asked to earn for some help, I mean, therapy with her is apparently helping. So I mean, there's probably been some pointers.
Oh
They're
man.
about to have therapy with the professor.
Rena had therapy with Aridin multiple times.
Yeah. Brina, with you,
The day
Did you
actually did not have very positive adventures. Now that I think about it, she shared them with Cadmus.
Yeah. Because it would have been the magic and stuff going weird and running away from the party and
Yeah,
with the toad eyes, he would be so fast.
the toad eyes.
I want an image of Cadmus's face looking at that freaking sapphire toad eye.
I mean, yes, it starts sad, but it does end happy because now you know what was wrong and why things didn't work, and you can make it better now.
It's
You
true.
got your memory. You got all this pretty gold,
Molybdenum.
Yeah.
iron. Very exciting.
Cool new magic.
Like, just substitute
Frida-
this for the eye, just like, oh my gosh.
You just have a ball of foil.
Yes, it is.
That's why.
Why do you have so much?
Why you have a ball of foil, Marco?
Because I wanted it.
Alright.
I mean, it feels like it somehow feels like the culmination of the phrase insult and injury. Because I'm literally throwing a ball of aluminum foil, and people are like, "Oh, it's this tiny little thing." No, this actually would hurt somebody.
Does it have that much weight?
It's like a mug. I think it's like if you tape like 2 mugs together, it's about that weight.
Oh, okay.
aluminum foil.
I grabbed the biggest roll I could find.
And then you just balled it up.
Yes. I'm not looking for a dryer I can break so I can throw this in here and compress it further, just because of constant concussive force.
Love my friends. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Rita,
Anyway.
a little bit sooner because you did open up with, "How are you?" And Leoflin is just like, "Oh, things could be better." So, Uther's been kind of holed up for a week or so.
Theophilus, just tell me what happened. It's obvious
Battle-
that something's wrong.
A battle went wrong, like really wrong. Like an entire platoon died, including Aurelius. And he didn't take it well.
Well,
And I don't know if it's just because Aurelius died or if it was all of them. I assume it was all of them. He's just such a compassionate person that I think he's just struggling with. I think he blames himself. But I don't really know, because I wasn't close friends with him. More just acquaintance.
from what I understand from Eridan and my own interactions with him, I think you're more accurate in that he cares about all of them. I care about Aurelius more just because of their relationship. But Theophilus, who else died? Anybody else that we know?
No. Amoro's okay. Amoro's here. He's here somewhere. We can even go see him so that you can be sure that he's safe. I promise.
Like, you just see Brina's just like, she's just tearing up. It's like, okay.
And
But
and,
wait, but
and Boris is okay, and you saw Orlois, apparently he's good.
and I know Candace is okay. Syrian, that's another one that I know.
Yes, he's fine. He wasn't in that
In that group.
group, no. I think they were mostly from Kimry. I don't think they were from elsewhere in that particular group.
But somebody knows their names, right?
Yes, we have records of all of them. The Druids keep extensive records of people.
Like, even though she, like, obviously is sad, Brina kind of tilt her head, is like, that? I like that. We just were in a huge library, and that also explains kind of why Taliesin wrote the way he did. I got to read some of his songs. They're about individuals.
Oh, yeah, he did like to write about individuals. He wanted to make.
There was an entire huge section just dedicated to his work.
I'm not surprised. I mean, the man was like 100 years old.
He's not in the drum anymore.
What?
He's not in the drum anymore. We lost him.
Oh. Oh. So he's gone.
Yes, but I think he's more at peace now. At least I hope so. He can just rest instead of talking to us out of a drum. But it was hard because I didn't get to say goodbye. So Erden was very helpful with that, but yeah. We've had some loss on our side too, but not anything like here.
Yeah. It's been rough. Also didn't help. Uther got into a huge fight. Like physical fight with Emrys, and Emrys left. Nobody knows where he is. And he didn't. He could have easily won that fight if he had tried, but he let Uther just pound him. It was honestly really difficult to watch.
I don't know them very well. Erden knows everybody here a lot better than I do, but from what I've seen of Emrys, I kind of understand him not fighting back. I don't agree with him leaving, though I can kind of get it. This will sound probably ridiculous, and it's not going to fix anything, but you think Uther would like some of that? It normally makes me feel a little better. Well, actually, a lot better, but it's at least something I can do.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I can at least ask. I'll ask him, but probably not immediately. Or else
Yeah.
I can ask Erden to ask him. That sounds like a much safer route. But I would really like to see some of those other people that you told me are okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, you pegged us. You pegged me for worrying about Amor first. He's one of my best friends. So
Yeah. Amror is actually not far from our part of camp because Gorlos wanted to keep his people close to his other people.
that makes sense.
He's got
He's got a lot of people.
Yeah, come on. We'll go right now. It's only midday. Not that you can tell, but it is.
Okay.
Do you want me to carry you so you don't get stuck in the mud?
That would be lovely if you don't mind.
Not a big deal.
I mean, I could probably
Big burly
like,
Saxon.
like kind of look at Everald. It's like I think I can ride out for Old. I've never tried it, but I don't know if that would make it harder for her in the mud. Everald, what do you think? Do you think you riding on your back would be easier in the mud or harder?
Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay. Friend can ride.
Say it again.
Friend can ride.
This will be an experience. Like Raynom's just kind of like clamber onto Everald's back. It's like,
Well,
as long as we're not running too fast, I think we'll be good.
We need to get you a saddle.
we're not going to go too far. And so she'll lead you back out into the rain. And true to her word, you don't go very far before she comes up to a tent. She's going to knock on the wood. Amber, are you in there?
Present.
I brought somebody to see you. Ta-da!
Like Brayden's probably as soon as she hears his voice, like she's off Emerald and like running into the tent.
Yeah. Good to see you.
I might be tackling you.
Well, you're pretty small, so Amor can probably just like pick you up in a hug. But you're a ray of sunshine to a very overcast day and general camp mood, if we're honest.
The Afflid told me. He brought me over here to make sure that I knew that you were actually okay. I'm so sorry to hear about Aurelius.
Oh.
And about all the Kimri.
Yeah, it's been really rough around here recently. Yeah, I'm still here. I haven't died yet. It's probably no small miracle, but
Yeah.
it means I can keep taking care of the men that I do still have with me.
Did all your men make it out?
No, it's been some of them do. When we go into these big battles, I mean, do you remember last time I lost some men, and it doesn't get any easier.
Well, Berlois has Sheridan talking with Uther, and Idea's working with Cadmus over at the armory. We ended up with a Roman carriage that she's stripping for metal.
At least we know we'll be well armed, and if Harden's here, maybe there's a glimmer of hope we can get Uther, because we need some good leadership to pull the reins forward.
Rod is here somewhere. I don't know exactly where she went off to. She's been having a little bit of a time. Hopefully she's found her path again, because her goddess died. So she's been having any interview.
Leoflin kind of cocks her head. She goes, "Huh? I only thought Saxon gods could die."
Oh no!
Well,
Apparently, all of the gods from Rada's homeland have died.
All the
No small occurrence.
Yes, all of the Greek ones.
It's a lot of gods to die, like a lot.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I know her homeland kind of got destroyed, and the people that were believing in them just weren't around. I don't know how that affected Idea. I know her god used to be one of the Greek ones. She didn't really talk about him much, so I'm not really sure, but I think he's gone as well. And I know Rod has been a little bit lost, but she's been having more interviews. Like there's been a couple different gods and goddesses that have reached out to her to have them her be a cleric for one of them. So she's making up her mind. And Tooth's with us too. I have no idea where he is, but it's Tooth, so he's probably causing trouble. Though he can now summon snakes, and I don't understand how.
That's concerning. I mean, I guess he's got to add some livelihood to the camp, even if it's not maybe the right kind.
I hope he doesn't put snakes in anybody's shoes.
I seriously though, just that many gods dead. I mean, my place has been here for a while now, but that's certainly an area of interest of mine. The behavior of beings of other worlds and a whole pantheon of gods.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the pantheon that I grew up with was supposed to die at Ragnarok, but I'm pretty sure it's not Ragnarok. Because everything's. I mean, we're in the middle of a war, but I mean, everything still feels relatively stable. So.
I don't think Brina's heard of Ragnarok, and so she's just kind of like looking at Leofra like, okay.
Makes me wonder what could cause that many people to die. Not that many gods to die.
She did mention
it was destroyed.
Did we get word that like there was some barbarian army that was moving in from the east or trying to? What if they're like wiping out the people who believe in those gods? And those gods are only alive because people believed in them. I don't know if that's a thing. I mean, our gods certainly don't have that, I don't think.
I mean, it's hard to say for certain, but that does seem like a valid hypothesis.
I wonder if that's what Ragnarok is. You'll just stop believing. Huh.
Rather anticlimactic, but I mean, I've heard of Stranger Things.
Also just sounds so sad. Oh, but once we got his we were helping in Londinium, and then one of the goddesses, I don't know which one, took us to the glass aisle. Where we nearly I have a feeling it was probably due to the chaos goddess that doesn't like Airden.
Was she there?
Yeah, she was at the wedding.
I thought I heard rumor of that. Amor, you would have been aware of this. Gorlos would have told you because a message had been given to it. Like Igraine was told what was going on, and she was like, "Oh, tell my husband to tell the king that the chaos goddess is definitely making some chaos." So,
That the scouts they
I should have
sent
been
have disappeared.
there. It's good I wasn't. I mean, Gorlos told me not to be there, so I shouldn't have been there, but if she was there, we don't want her to be there.
No, and I think the whole reason that we ended up yanked into the other world again was because she was there and she saw us.
oh,
She doesn't know Idea, but she knows the rest of us. Oh, she doesn't know Tong either. And then Tong just kind of went poof. I don't wait, no. She was the only one that was left in the glass aisle when we ended up on the boat. Yeah, I know, more boats. And this one ended up in a hurricane, but we survived. The Viking boats didn't because Tooth was launching watermelons that were on fire. I don't understand. You can ask Airden about that one.
I would have so many questions, but I've ventured with this group, so a few less.
There's
I'm horrified. Like, what?
I still have a lot of questions.
there's no such thing as secrets with Brina.
It's pertinent information to letting him know and catching him up on what's been going on with us. Like, it's not that I'm trying to share secrets necessarily. It's more just like info dump is more of what I'm doing right now because I'm relieved to see him alive and relieved to be able to tell him about an update. And it's like okay, I'm the first one to see Amor. I'm the first contact. I have to update him on all the stuff. And with emotion and all of that on top of that, which is going to just kind of come out as word vomit in a way. So it's not that I'm trying to disclose secrets. I promise.
so there is probably one more thing he needs to be made aware of, because he was there when Taliesin was put in the drum.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So Amor,
No, he wasn't. Not when he was put in, because that happened in Atlantis.
Oh, was that? Oh, he was there when Taliesin first died, I guess is.
and he was there in Taliesin for side, but he would have experienced Taliesin in the drum when we were in the Kimmery camp before.
Yeah.
So, but we did suffer one loss as well. Taliesin's no longer in the drum. I'd like to think he's at more peace now, but
The circumstance surrounding that. I mean, it was an odd circumstance in the first place. Good to have Taliesin.
well, that was sort of like I feel like Brina would be uncomfortable talking about the necromancy. Like,
Yeah, a very long story.
So
yeah, it's like,
you
that's
described
really
Taliesin as the only loss when technically going MIA, which is what Tong did, does count as a loss.
yes, it's like
I was gonna say when Dominic was saying that the circumstances were weird, and Marco was making that face like, yeah, my computer started slowing down, so I just saw you going.
Yeah.
you're on Jen's computer. That's a
I
really
just
long
wanted to make
story,
it
but
very dramatic.
the basis is that we encountered some necromancy on the glass aisle.
You did not tell me off with that. She just kind of like stiffens. She's like, I'm what?
Yeah, we
I suspect Amror knows what that is on the on a dime as well.
Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
is
It was not welcome at all. We were not happy to be anywhere near that.
on the welcome list. I'm pretty sure that necromancy is
Not on
at
it.
the bottom. Yeah, not even on it. It's like the bouncer's list of people to kick. Necromancy is right at the top.
Yeah. The king of the glass isle is suffering from it. It's a curse on him right now. But also a lot of people are losing their memories, and so they don't quite remember what's going on. And sorry, there's a lot of stuff that's happened for both you guys and for us.
How much work to do, and frankly, just not enough of one person to do it. Anyways, I do have time for long stories as long as we're in the camp and Uther's not planning anything new, which hasn't been the case. But maybe over bread and I guess it's midday soup. We can save mulled wine for.
Yeah. Leopold, you okay? Sorry, I know it's uncomfortable for me too. We didn't like being anywhere near that.
It's just, I mean, it's like a druid's worst nightmare.
Uh-huh.
Yikes.
Yeah, the whatever is going on with Taliesin and the drone combined with necromancy.
Well, how did Taliesin end
I
up on the
hardly
drone in the first? Do you even know?
I think Rhiannon put him there.
That's why. If there's necromancy around magic like that, Rhiannon's a life goddess. Her magic's not gonna put up with that kind of darkness. It's gonna jettison out.
Yeah. But thankfully we left the glass isle pretty soon after that. I mean, well, he did kind of ran away, but she got hit with a spell that kind of backlashed on her and was really struggling. She lost a lot of her memories for a little bit. She has them back now though. So
Yeah.
If Emor knew Adea better, he would call out her propensity to use magic to solve problems and put two to two together. But Emor does not know Adea very well.
but on our way to follow Idea, she was leaving the glass isle. Tooth and I were going with her. Erda was going back to Rada, and Tong hadn't come with us, so I don't quite know exactly where Tong is. So we lost her as well, which is she's very capable of taking care of herself. Like that, she's very capable. But I also kind of worry about where she's at. But yeah, I think another goddess helped. Well, I know another goddess helped Erden and Rada get on the boat, and then he took the boat to Saketaru when it wasn't supposed to go there. You have a lot of goddesses working and directing us where we need to go.
That definitely sounds like a good conversation over a meal. We've got a lot to discuss.
Yeah, and I want to hear more about what's going on here and how we can help, other than reviving Uther's spirits, because that's something that is obviously needed. But if there's other things, if there's other things that we can do to be of assistance.
Well, we can certainly do that over a meal.
Yeah. Should we find Rada? And we should probably find Idea, because knowing Idea and Cadmus, they might not remember to eat.
Yeah, they'll forget for sure.
Much as I love them. They're great.
So you might try the pavilion behind our tents for Rada. I can go grab Cadmus any day.
Okay.
Because I can manhandle them if need be.
That would actually be really funny watching Dea versus Leopold
I was
in a
just
test of strength.
I was just like,
The Amazon versus the Saxon.
like, and Brina's just gonna like look at Leopold, kind of like up and down a little bit, just like, you make a very good point. I will let you handle that.
You said that Rada was looking for, or maybe she went to the pavilion where the sacred grounds that we've set up for those who need to reach to their gods. If she's in the throes of changing, she may be in there.
Sounds like a likely place. And everyone can come along with me, and I'll ride on Emerald so that I don't sink into the mud again.
You may want to figure out where Tooth is too. Your boar might be able to sniff him out and make sure he's.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Brina's just gonna kind of look at Albert. It's like, hey, Emerald, can we go find Tooth?
Yes, we can find annoying one.
Emerald, have I ever told you how much I adore you?
All right, you will split your ways. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this guy up to you guys. If you want to keep going, I'm on spring break, so I don't really have a half day anymore.
I'd be okay
Let's
with
keep
going
going.
for a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's 9:02 right now.
Might make it a little bit of a late night for us, but I'd be happy to keep going.
Okay. So, Brina, you get to Rada first before anyone else.
Mhm.
Rada definitely seems to be deep in meditation, but she seems relaxed. There's no tense muscles or anything. Looks like she even has a smile on her face. Everything's working out.
I was gonna say, like, seeing that, I would be like, okay, count to 4, and she looks busy, so let's go find Tooth.
As you're doing it, Rada, you're having your conversation with Lou, and then he's just like, I hope I was able to answer all of your questions. I think your friend is here to get you for food. Also, just a little bit of warning. There's a lot of sadness in the camp right now. I'm sure she's going to tell you all about it. I'm sure you picked up on it coming in.
Well, the rain wasn't making anything brighter.
No, it's certainly taking on the mood. But
Fallacy.
huh?
A pathetic fallacy where the weather mimics the mood.
Yeah. And all it took was Erden rolling the right dice.
Yay!
But good luck. And of course, if you have more questions, reach out. I usually answer. I try to be responsive, but I also have a lot of people who reach out to me all at once, and I can only answer so many.
Of course.
All right. Enjoy. And he just like pops out.
Well, where's the
You
two of
wake
you
up
off
and
to?
Brenda is turning around.
Say that again, Jen?
I said, as you're turning around, that's when Rada opens her eyes. So then she can say her thing.
And where's the two of you off to?
Oh, well, everyone's gonna help me find Tooth so that he wasn't making a ruckus of camp. I'm assuming that Amber came with me. So.
We're splitting. I don't know which direction Amor went.
Because Leopold went to go get Idea and Cadmus, but in my head, Amor came with Emerald and I, but I might be wrong.
What?
Amor's right in all of this, other than suggesting food.
Leoflid does have 2 hands to drag 2 independent ears.
Really needs.
I was gonna say, unless you went to go find us a place to eat.
I suspect we already know where we're going to eat. It's not
Yeah.
like we have the choice of every restaurant on the street.
Yeah.
The way you're sitting, Dominic, makes it look like you only have one arm like you. Listen, he's just really channeling the character right now.
Love it.
Isn't it his right arm that he's missing part of it? It's not the left arm.
I think he's left-handed.
Amor's left-handed, so this is actually accurate too.
So where is Amor? Did he go with her, or is he?
Yeah, if we're splitting up, Evermore probably doesn't have any good reason to just meet them there, so probably goes with Brina. I mean, he knows the rest of the party, and he doesn't know Adea and Cadmus very well. So if Leophilid's got those two handled, then Evermore can do the it's not a victory lap. What is it? It's a
Roundup?
they can do the rounds.
Reading?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rounds.
See everyone, yeah.
Well, if Amor was with Brina, then Rada would have said, where are you going, you 3?
Yeah.
Bread and soup seems most appropriate considering the weather. And Brina's here.
It has been a long day. Oh, can only tell that by the dim light. If I didn't know better, I'd say it was still... Well, it was a long night.
Leopold said it was midday. I trust her on that. She knows more about this weird cold rain than I do.
Well, I might not be from here, but I am certainly familiar with incremental... Or,
Inclement weather.
incremental weather.
You'd think you could hardly tell given how little light we're getting now with all this rain, but trust me, you don't want to see this in the dark. Or rather, what you won't see is what you don't want in the dark.
Now, I trust that
But-
Lena has told you what was all the up and up with us.
The short version. It's a long story, as I can tell. So, over food.
Yes.
But Brina's gonna nudge Emerald towards Rada so that she's closer. But Rada, I don't know if you've been told yet, but Aurelius died. And a great number of the Kimri. And Uther's been not handling it well. That's why they needed Airden.
I figured that may have been, well, maybe not the specifics, but something similar. The mood was too down, and the weather too perfect. Not to mention that Lou said that there was some bad news.
Is that who you've chosen to follow? Sorry. Question.
What?
Well, Brina, I'd asked if Lou who you had chosen to follow, but she kind of breaks off. Like, wait, is that a rude question?
Brilliant. I
I
had
don't know.
chosen, made my decision ever since Rhiannon spoke with me. This was just making it formal. Or at least getting more instructions on things.
I'm glad that you have a deity in that realm. Leoflid might have questions about what happened to the Greek pantheon, though. I was trying to explain to her and I was trying to explain to Amor that some of the stuff you'd been going through, and I probably just confused them.
I had questions about what happened to the Greek pantheon too.
Apparently, I can't do short stories. All my stories have to be long, otherwise they get confusing. I have to remember that with with bardic stuff.
Not that it was confusing. You explained the short version quite well. It's just that the short version leaves many questions to be answered. Some stories just cannot be told in a short time frame.
I mean, I'm sure you did fine because it was a lot.
Yeah. But I asked Emerald to see if she could help me find Tooth so that he doesn't cause any more chaos than he normally does. She said she should be able to find him. She even called him an annoying one.
That makes 3 of us. Well, actually, no, I don't think she called him annoying. I think she actually liked him. Oh no, Gausha probably thought he was annoying.
Yeah, Tom liked Tooth. The Gausha, I don't think did.
Yeah, let's find Tooth and put some food in our stomachs.
So Emerald will sniff him out, lead you guys off into the rain. She actually leads you right to the food pavilion, where you do in fact find Tooth eating a bowl of soup and just not being annoying.
Ow.
Well, they haven't thrown them out yet. So that's good.
This is probably the most surprising thing I've seen all day.
What? It was cold. I was wet. I needed soup.
I can't agree more.
That's why we're here too. But Tooth.
So
Have the soup.
everyone's in really depressing moods. I feel like I need to how about the mood or something? What's going on?
Aurelius and an entire platoon of Kimry died.
Oh.
I don't think how you normally would lighten the mood will go over very well.
Dang it. Oh, where'd it go? Okay, I'll try another one. I don't know where the dice went.
That's dangerous depending on which dice it was.
Not even if and he digs into his bag and he pulls out a little fiddle. Goes, even
You're breaking
if
up.
I play the fiddle. Why? It's not even giving me a reason.
It's doing better
Okay.
now. It was one of those kind of weird stuttery stop things.
He pulled out a fiddle and he starts playing a little jig. And he's actually doing a really good job of playing some little Irish jig on this fiddle.
That show can be pretty good for Rockrama.
Well, I bet if you and Erden join me, and Rada, you got that thingy that you play too, we could just get some dance music going and people will dance and be happy for at least a little bit. I don't know if that's what the Kimry do at their funerals though. at Gaelic funerals, we like to celebrate their lives. Want to make it a party.
I think we should
Go on.
have that before going forth with that idea.
Hopefully Erden is successful with Uther and we can more readily use a show for the morale of the people and get the ball rolling.
I suppose while we wait for the others, let's get our food.
What kind of soup do we have, and what kind of bread do we have?
Camp rush.
Because of course I'm there.
Tasteless and stale in that order. You gotta feed an army. You can't be generous.
So much sense.
We've been spoiled.
Yeah.
Though we did have a little over 2 weeks to get over it.
True.
That is true. Tooth does pull out a few seasonings, and he's like, if you put those in your soup to make it taste better, you can. I don't know what they are. I forgot to label them.
Oh no.
He's pretty good, though.
I think I'll just eat it as is, but thank you.
Emmer will probably like try to smell them and determine just A, flavor, and B, toxicity. He doesn't suspect they're toxic, but also like
It's
if you
true.
forgot to label them, he may have pulled out something that's not a seasoning.
You're pretty sure one of them has thyme in it, and the other one is salt.
Well, that's definitely something.
Meanwhile, Leoflid turns up at the armory, and she sees the two of you. You're back at your, like, cajoling and tearing this thing apart. She just walks in and goes, dinner time. No, Cad, don't argue with me. We're eating now. Get up. Come on, both of you.
As much as I'd love to stay here and do this, I've made a commitment to try and be more responsible.
Hurry off, Lid. There's a car to take apart.
Cad's like, but we're having, and she just walks over. She does actually grab his ear, and she's like, no, we're going to eat. Come on. Like, he yanks him up, and he's like, oh, wait, I'm coming. You can let go. Let go, please.
Don't worry,
Yeah,
we
like
can come back after the food. It's not dark yet.
She, like, pointedly waits for both of you to get ahead so that she's behind you and making sure that he doesn't try to come back. She has lost him that way before.
No, go on.
But they do eventually, yeah, they do eventually show up where you guys are all gotten your food and all that. So Tooth will regale you and just be like, okay, Ijaya, you're usually on my side for these things, but I'm thinking those of us who play instruments can get them out, get people jazzed with some jigs, get them dancing, having a good time, so they can relax for a bit, you know, let go of all this grief they're holding on to.
I mean, I was thinking we should put on a show at some point. What do you think, Cadmus? I mean, we do need to bring some more joy, although too soon. I don't know.
Yeah. I know how to sort of drum a little bit.
We know anyone who's good with illusions? We could make it a visual spectacle. I can bring the fire. I learned lots of that recently. I don't know if that's good for anything.
Do illusions. Watch this.
I was gonna say, Brina's like muttering under her soup. Technically, I can, but I would like to be able to ask if this is appropriate first.
Tooth is. He's like, yeah, I can do it, and he goes to do it and just this horrible sound that sounds an fart joke. Like fart noise, you know? And he's like, oh, hang on.
Brina's just
No, I can do
raises
this
her
because that's how
eyebrow
I
at Tooth and
scared the
really?
freaking nobleman. Hold on. So he's going to keep attempting this and have various various results because he rolled a nat 1 and he's not getting it right tonight.
And Brina just has her that suspicious eyebrow raise. Like Brina's just looking at Tooth with her eyebrow raised, is like, what are you? What?
Oh, you said he learned how to summon snake.
He did. I watched him do it. I don't know what this is.
There is a time
Or he'll
and
figure it out.
place. There is a time and a place for performing. Now might not be a good time for it, unless you can make it obvious that you are trying to uplift people's spirits. Otherwise, you might offend people.
That's why I wanted to ask to see if it would be something welcome.
Maybe it should be sanctioned.
So
Gotta
through
get
all
Erden.
Erden, eventually he finally does stop crying, and the three of you have just kind of collapsed on the floor. He's just sitting there now. He's doing the little like he's trying to get his breathing back under control. But he's definitely calmed down and he's not mad at you anymore and he's not like he's not projecting anymore.
Yeah, Ern will be just rubbing his back and just kind of just say to him, I may not always be around, but I'll always be here for you.
Yep, I know. It's just easier to get mad at you. Don't worry, he said the same thing to me too. So, how about we we get dressed and we be human the rest of the day, huh? Can we do that?
Too soon, Corlovis.
Yeah. He just stares at him like, shut up.
Lois is trying the dad angle and failing.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
my thought was just like, okay, your heart's in the right place, but the tone in your voice was wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, heart's in the right place, but I don't think
He still has.
really, he knows
It's
how
like
to
when
do
you're
it because he's his king.
like you get this new. You're like you have small children and you just can't get out of that voice anymore, and he's like stuck in it. It's like can't get
He's
out.
stuck in dad mode, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's gone adult child right there.
A little bit. I mean, that's been the nature of their relationship since they met. So
They're a little less as an adult child in this specific instance and more as grief stricken, where the adult child thing is kind of a manifestation of that grief. But that is my own personal opinion.
Well, Gorlois has also seen him like this before because he was there when his family burned to death.
Mm-hmm.
So he is well aware of his grief patterns. And he may have discovered that being himself and pretending that nothing has changed seems to keep him from wallowing. So he's intentionally using the tones that he is. Because he's like, yeah, we've been here. I was hoping we wouldn't have to do this again. Okay, he won't, because the next time that Uther is grief-stricken, Orlos won't be there.
Ooh.
No.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, so
I
that's
already
why
knew
the
because
story
of
know what's happening.
like I already knew because of the source material that he was gonna not be there, but at the same time, brutal, Jen.
Honestly, it kind of feels like the narrator in a story or a play, just like, ah, yes, he'll always feel this way. It's a shame he won't be able to see the next time.
Yeah, this
Oops.
is quite a literal situation where the words of too soon are appropriate.
Hasn't even happened yet.
Still too soon.
It is too soon, literally.
He hasn't even had all his kids yet.
Yeah, this feels like let's have lunch here and see how we feel later.
Yes. Look, I just want him to change clothes. He's been wearing these clothes for like 2 weeks. And I'm sorry, but if I have to tell him repeatedly to change his clothes like I would to my 3-year-old, it's not okay.
All out.
Erden, give me a wisdom check real quick from that statement.
Okay. Let's see how well this goes. Yeah, it's 13.
Last you checked, Gorlois didn't have a 3-year-old. He had a 2-year-old and an infant.
Yeah, that means he's been on leave.
No, that likely means that more time has passed.
And actually, Ern will lean over to Uther. It's like, he compared you to his 3-year-old. Are you seriously going to take this right now?
You're right. Gorlois, get out of my tent. Erden, that is not where we were trying to go with this.
Correction.
Get
That's
you
not
an
where
order.
you
I
were trying to go with that.
last week.
Sorry, what did you say, Marco?
Correction. That's not where you were trying to go with that.
I had no direction in mind. Nope. Nope. You know what? Nope. I'm putting my foot down now. I'm going full dad mode. You're getting out of your nasty clothes. And he starts ripping his tunic off and he's like fighting him like, no, stop. He's like, I'm not gonna come back in here if you still smell like this. I am forcing you into a bath. If I have to throw you into a mud puddle out in front of the tent. It'd be very helpful if I just had an extra set of hands to scrub him down.
You know, I was going to wait until after he ate so he felt a little better. He might be in a food coma a little. You know, patience. Something a leader should be able to see and act upon.
He
All
gives the
right.
tuna and then it's just looking at him and looking at you and he goes, Uther's the one who answers. He goes, he already shoved food down my throat before you showed up.
Well then. It's a real shame I just learned about a new water spell.
What? You learned a new water spell. that something that life goddesses can do?
No.
No.
They're both staring at you like, what?
What? Where's the basin? Let's get this over with.
Okay. He grabs, Carlos goes and like grabs it like a big wooden tub, basically. Moves it over.
This
Uther's
is the
looking
perfect use for Jet Force create water.
Uh-huh.
And using his new druidic spell, he will literally create water right above Uther's head and let it drop on him.
It's like coughing and sputtering. Carlos, that's you're not human. How are you doing druidic magic?
I'm not entirely an elf either. Did the ears not give it away? I don't have like the signature pointiness.
Lied to you my entire life. I thought you had to be full human.
Oh, look at that. We're all learning things today.
Right, fill the tub while I get his pants off. He's just like sitting there like a drowned rat. Just,
There
I
should
hate
be a
you both.
scrub brush somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's still in the tub.
Yeah, Ern is definitely bored with helping Carlos with everything now.
Right, I can get in the tub on my own. Jeez. Is it gonna be cold like that again?
I mean,
Gorlos just kind of looks at you and he goes, "Is that the only spell you know?"
unfortunately.
Yeah,
At
he
least-
doesn't know how to heat her up. Good luck. Don't you know how to heat the water up, Gorlos?
He's a
Yeah,
wind druid.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
right.
I can't do water spells. Yes, you can. I've seen you do them. I can't do fire spells. It's the opposite. I can't. It's bad. Mm-mm. You don't ask me to do it. I'm not getting in a cold tub. I think the cold water will do you good.
And this is the moment where Erden and Goros look at each other before pushing him in.
They just both take an arm and like. And he's like, no, no. It's not cold. It's not warm. It's like, okay, fine. Erden, I think the soap is still on the stand over there. Grab it.
Oh, absolutely.
But eventually, he does stop fighting you. He lets you guys scrap down, get cleaned up, dry him off by the fire again.
Erden
He's
is
looking-
enjoying hazing his friend.
Ern is enjoying dragging his friend out of this hole.
Which
He's
happens to
looking
look like
better.
hazing.
Yes.
You've scrubbed him down. His eyes are a little less bloodshot. His skin definitely looks better. His hair definitely looks better. It's still standing on end, but at least it's not caked in dirt. It definitely smells better now. After he takes his bath, Gorlos will just toss those clothes in there. He's like, I'll scrub them later.
I'm so for it.
All right, there we go. Feel better? Yes. Guess. Maybe. Gorlos is like, good. I miss this. This camaraderie. The only thing that
Oh,
will
wait,
make this
that's what
better.
you think this is?
Isn't this what this is? Isn't that what friends do? Camaraderie?
No, friends torture each other.
Yeah, that's what
Just
camaraderie is.
coincidentally when it goes good.
They're just like, I need to make better friends.
Does he say that out loud, or is that just what his face is saying?
Right. Gorlos just leans over and he's like, oh, you know that if your other BFF were here, he would have also thrown you in the tub.
Oh no, he would have thrown him outside, somehow made him levitate and swirl in the rain.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about Actorius. Actorius might have just booted him out the door too into a puddle, but he definitely would have picked him up and thrown him in the tub.
Yeah, fair enough.
Igraine probably would have helped too. She's got this thing with it. She'd have been brutal.
What?
Yeah, I think we should all count our blessings that she isn't here.
Yeah, because she'd have been the one the moment you said you needed water boiling. Yeah, thanks for not boiling me alive.
You're welcome. I care about you.
See? Friends don't let friends boil.
Except maybe a grain.
Now. What are we gonna do tomorrow? I don't know, Loris. What are we gonna do tomorrow? You're the king. You tell me. We call the other kings together, make a plan. Okay, that's a start. That's a start. We can do that. I will send out the message that we're meeting tomorrow. First thing. First thing. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I feel like Uther's doing the what would Aurelius make me do in this situation in his head.
Yep.
Yeah, you've had a week to relax, and now you got to get up and do things.
An adult sucks.
Yes,
I mean,
it does.
the adultier adult is gone, and now I have to be the adultier adult, and I don't like it.
Wait until people start seeing you as that adultery adult.
I said that once to my dad, and he was like, I'm sorry, run that by me again. And I was like, you're the adultier adult.
Because yes, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But you don't want to face the fact that you're an adult, so you look around for an adultier adult to follow.
Alright, excellent. I will go pass around the message now so they know to be ready in the morning. You get some rest. Thank you, Vernon. It's a pleasure, though. And he'll head out the tent.
Having a kid has really changed him.
Having 3 kids has changed him.
Time travel again.
Fair enough.
Can't say that it's changed him for the worse. He's just gotten bossy. No, scratch that. He was always bossy. Now he thinks he knows what's best for everyone.
Well, can't exactly change that.
I'm sure Anwar feels different.
So, what exactly happened to you? Last thing we heard was that white lady turned up at the wedding.
Yeah, that was an immediate call for her sister to basically send all of us to the other world.
Ah, yes. Emrys had said as much. If he's got such a good relationship with his sister, I don't know why he didn't just have her bring you guys back.
I'm not going to speculate on that at this moment. At the very least, I will not voice it.
Uh, your little Roman friend never came back.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
If he stayed in Londinium or if he took off. No, maybe he went back to Rome. I don't know. I don't particularly care. He didn't seem to be devoted to one side or the other. And your horned friend, um, he is running some overt stuff for me. I think that there are some Saxons who are headed north to try and make a deal with the Scotty. We sent him to go handle that. He's scary.
Yeah, not only in looks, but he's surprisingly adept at just doing things.
Yeah, he went with your other friend, the weird one who I don't know why, but he kept talking to wolves or crows. I don't know. It was weird. He had the pig, but now the pig's here, so I'm not really sure what happened. I heard the pig. I could hear it squealing.
Yeah, no, we have the pig.
Was it a
Best case
different?
scenario, no, it's the same one.
Okay.
Best case scenario, he is never going to be seen again because he has found lifelong animal companions. Worst case scenario, he's going to come back and be very upset. We're going to have to clean that up too.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's what I got. Ectorius is up there with them, leading them. Last message I got from them was that Saxons had an unfortunate run-in with Picts.
Yeah, that probably went really well.
Yeah. Yeah. From what I gathered, they decided there was a reason we had them all.
Yeah, sometimes the Romans do have a smart idea. Now, do you want to hear my ridiculous story? My ridiculous story of Well, it'll sound like it lasts a month, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What were you up to?
Well, we were initially dropped in the glass aisle.
The story Talius used to tell us.
Yeah. Big island, everything made out of diamonds. Yeah.
It's real.
Yep.
I can't even muster the surprise that I am feeling to show on my face.
Well, you wouldn't want to go there anyways, because there are some ginormous animals. Like, they're also made out of diamonds, so it's practically impossible to hit them.
That sounds absurd.
I don't know what's absurd. The freaking eyes we were able to obtain out of them. Freaking size of your head, just made out of pure sapphire.
You also want to mention that that said creature ate a centaur?
He tried. He ate Tom.
Really big sapphire.
No, it swallowed Rada too.
It was almost as funny as the one time that I saw somebody went to a tree and it took 6 people to get him back out.
Yeah, we are. Got to get to a bathhouse. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff on that island, including necromancy. Wasn't expecting that.
Isn't that supposed to be like evil or something?
Yeah, King was kind of just stuck in a chair, more like a corpse than anything else.
Just the Crab King? Crabber? Glider? Fisher! Fisher King, right?
Fisher King.
Right. Was he a fish?
Nope.
Did he like to
Nothing
fish?
fishy about him.
Called the Fisher King.
Either it's ironic or there's another version of the word that we don't know.
It's fair. Celts are kind of weird like that.
Mm.
And I feel justified in saying that because neither of us are a Celt.
Yep. I've seen a few things. It's a little weird, yeah.
Right? Necromancy.
Yeah. And next place we went to was Saketaru. Really big library there.
A library?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Like imagine like the whole area that these tents take up. Imagine a building that size, but it's like 7 floors tall, but like the staircases make it feel like there's like 2 or 3 floors in between.
Are you talking about the Library of Alexandria that burned?
Yeah, not that one. Very much not burned.
I'm not even gonna ask. Oh boy, I definitely learned a lot about that place though. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try and make sure to ask you if you want me to look anything up there.
yeah. How do I kill my brother and drive Saxons out of my land?
I didn't find it. Actually, I did try and find out a little bit about that. Wasn't really anything written down.
Of course not. Why would there be? That'd be too easy.
Hmm. Oh, I did hear a rumor though.
Trying to remember.
I don't know. The results of stuff that's happening now will involve a guy named Arthur who will do more stuff.
Arthur?
Yeah.
Dumb name.
I know, right?
What does that even mean? I've never even heard that name before.
Mm.
Is it Celtic? Sounds Celtic.
I don't know. It feels like that would somehow be Roman. I don't know how that would factor in, but I swear, like, I imagine it'll be like some derivative of a name from there.
We love you, Arthur.
Oh, I know you guys do. It's just that some of these words are making me perhaps not like Uther so much.
He's grieving, okay? He's being snotty. I like the name Arthur, okay?
We're playing characters.
Hey, I like the name too, but I have bias.
Are you sure somebody wasn't just butchering my
Celtic and Latin.
name?
What was that?
You sure someone wasn't just butchering my name?
No, it was very explicit. Like, the guy talked fast, but there wasn't anything misunderstandable about him.
Wait, like a person told you this?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Some guy named the Physician.
Beg your pardon.
I know, right?
A physician told you this.
Oh, no, no, no. The Physician.
Huh. Sounds pompous.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. Imagine if he called himself the Master.
That sounds like something my brother would do. I'd have to punch the guy in the face. I couldn't do it. Speaking of, they're canceling Doctor Who. Shocker. They were doing such a bad job. And then they're going to just reboot it on Amazon. And apparently they've hired Harry Styles to be the first Doctor.
What?
Yeah. I'm like, dude, just let it die.
Let it die.
Let it have another hiatus like it did in the 90s. And then we can reboot again. Pick up from where we left off. And
know how to do
hopefully
that with anything that might have a semblance of people who like it to make money off of.
Yeah. As exemplified by all of these Disney remakes that none of us asked for.
Yep.
Especially this latest one.
No way. I have no desire to see that at all.
No.
I really liked what what my father-in-law recommended. Go watch the original and enjoy that one instead of seeing the live action.
That's good
Not to
advice.
mention the live action Lilo and Stitch.
I'm more okay with that one. Still think it's too soon for that, just like with Moana.
Doesn't look as bad as I thought it would.
Yeah.
seeing Bleakley, though, was off-putting, though.
Yeah.
So I think that may be a point.
I don't know. Of the ones that they've mentioned that they're going to be making, the only one that I'm really excited for is the Sword in the Stone.
Are they doing a live action version of that? Oh, interesting.
And the thing is that they have a whole set of books that they can do that. They don't have to just do the Sword in the Stone.
Mm-hmm.
And since
the
they're
original was based off a book.
yeah, I do hope they keep Madam Mim because that wasn't in the books, but she was great.
Oh yeah,
I love Madam Mim. But I mean, so the musical Camelot was based off of the same books, just later, which I thought was hilarious. I'm like, oh, I've got music for 2 parts of his life. I just need
the middle.
more. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we were listening to. My sister had never heard the Lusty Month of May all the way through. She's never seen Camelot, so she didn't actually know who sang it. I was like, it's Guinevere. Guinevere's singing about it. It's Mayday. So I had to like explain to her what was going on.
My apologies, I did not mean to get us so off the rails from Uther talking about Arthur.
Yep.
Yes, back to our Arthurian legend.
Yes.
Well, whoever this Arthur is, he's picking up the reins from me. I feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
Or maybe I envy him because he can deal with all the problems.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Well, if he's taking over all the problems, I don't have to deal with it. I'll just be me.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I need to find this Arthur guy.
I want to send a few people to do that. I think you have a few more important things.
You're supposed to be my friend,
And Emery.
not a voice of reason.
I can be both.
I don't want you to be both right now. And he'll actually be kind of dramatic and just like flop over.
Aaron will just kind of like crouch right next to him. You know what? That's a great idea. We should both get our gear on right now and go find this Arthur. Give him a bet what for, and get him to take over. Will be a little hard to convince the whole Pendragon thing, but I think we'll figure it out, right?
You just kind of look over because he doesn't respond. He's out. The guy was exhausted. He just like passed out next to the fire.
Damn it, Ern, you're sending us on a wild goose chase.
Everyone like see that just like, oh, finally. Like literally just pick up his body and like try and bring him to the car. Like, my goodness, man, you need to take a freaking break.
Yep. It
Like
was
actually, as he's setting him down, it's just like, wait a minute, I am being the voice of reason.
Uh-oh.
Don't deny it. Don't deny it. Nope. Don't deny it. Don't deny it. Don't deny it. They'll be fine. This is completely normal.
And
Let's see if I can clean up around here.
yeah, we're gonna end with you tucking him in and starting to clean up his tent, and the rest of you enjoying your meal and your discussions of trying to make people
Yes.
good job, guys.
It's been a year. Feels
Thank
like I'm
you.
gonna need another catch-up session on our not dead ranger.
Oh, on Amber.
Yeah. Good job, guys. I know it was unemotionally trying.
Oh, that was fun.
That was fun.
So
I do very much appreciate the warning of sadness coming, incoming sadness.
warning,
But I
warning.
also like that there were moments of joy